Assignment 2: Accounting, Budgeting and Variances. So basically, the first thing I want you to do is to make sure that you've handed to me task 1, the break-even sheet and the memo. We're going to do that in class, we're not going to do that at home, and that should make it easier. Also, when we've completed it, please make sure you complete and upload variance sheet 1. And finally, you will need to upload a corrected variance sheet 1. We will go through the second one, so variance sheet 1, and we'll go through that in class. So as soon as you've done that, upload it. So basically, you need to prepare a memo for Shelley Chen to allow them to prepare a meeting with Paula. The memo should contain what are the main causes of the problems in Paula's cash flow. So basically, what are the key issues which are affecting Paula's cash flow? What I would say is look at the workbook that we've talked through, and also look at what generally causes cash flow problems, and you can get that from a video that I put on which talks about cash flow problems and issues. Also, what could you do to get the business back on track? You should suggest at least 4 possible options, listing at least 1 benefit and 1 disadvantage for each of them. Again, if you look through the workbooklet, there will be some discussion of that somewhere which may have been talked about. So we'll talk about possible things and options. So those options could range from the way she uses her assets. It could also be looking at what kind of things that this person needs to do to actually improve their cash flow. So it could be looking at their stock control. It could also be looking at a whole range of different elements. So looking at what they're actually buying, do they need it, and do they need all the fixed assets they've got, basic stuff like that. So continued from this, you need to identify a recommended course of action for Paula, explain why you think it's suitable. So you don't have to choose all 4 of the options, but what I suggest you do is you choose a combination which you think will work. And I would also suggest that with those recommendations, use a bit of data as usual, and you also apply it to another variance sheet. Please make sure you keep using data throughout this. An explanation what you've done to get the information she wanted. So basically, what's the process you've done? Obviously, you've done a variance sheet. Why have you done a variance sheet? What's the benefit of the variance sheet? What's it telling you? Explain an explanation of what you think Paula should do and why this is. Basically, building up from the top point. Explain the benefits and any disadvantages for the business and those courses of actions. Basically, you go through it and you discuss what's the pros and cons of doing something. What you think the possible risks and costs are to Paula's business if she doesn't take any action now to improve things. Again, what I would suggest you do is you look at the workbook and you look at the possible costs and dangers. There is a section on that, and it's discussed also in assignment 1. It's something that you can bring out again here. So it's thinking about what are the costs, the financial costs and risks. Again, please use a workbook. Please look at the video which highlights what makes good cash flow management. And on a final point, I really would like you to use data and keep using it all the time. Data and real world will help you a lot in this assignment. What you will need to do is to make sure you hand in task 1, the break even, the memo, and also make sure you upload the variance sheet and then upload a corrected variance sheet. I hope you found this useful.